Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Friday, July 25th, 2025. And if you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put your baseball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily rundown best bet in Major League Baseball, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Friday, Major League Baseball. First up, we've got a late afternoon game between the Marlins and the Brewers. We've got Cal Quantrill and Freddie Peralta as the starters. Honestly, I think this is a great game on paper from an entertainment perspective, but betting-wise, I don't think there's a ton of value. For me, it's really tough to go against Freddie Peralta in his current form, and I do think the Brewers do win this game, but I don't really love the price, and we know the Brewers have been one of the hottest teams in baseball, so you're going to have to pay that premium price, even with a team like the Marlins on the other side who've been playing good baseball themselves as underdogs this season on the road. And Cal Quantrill, he's been able to keep the Marlins very competitive in his last few games. The Marlins have won 4 of his last 5 starts. So for me, I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. I think the under is worth a look. Maybe a situation where you take the under and the Brewers as a same game parlay, but I just don't really love this game from a betting perspective. So just a lean towards Milwaukee, a lean towards the under, and a game I'd rather just watch as a fan. Next up, the Diamondbacks and the Pirates. We've got Ryan Nelson and Mike Burrows as the starters. Now, after the Diamondbacks swept the Cardinals, it looked like maybe Arizona would start to play some competitive baseball and not necessarily be buyers at the deadline, but start to think about not selling. But now, after getting swept by the Astros in a series that just didn't look very competitive at all, I think it's pretty much a done deal that Suarez will be traded at the deadline, and I think the Diamondbacks will tail off as the season continues, but it still is a little bit early, so we'll see what Arizona does. But for me, it's just like matchups like this where I don't see a lot of value with Arizona. I think the Pirates are the play. I think Burrows is better than his current ERA, and the expected numbers would tell you that. Ryan Nelson has not been great on the road this season. He's got an ERA just below 6. The Diamondbacks' offense looked miserable in that series, even at Chase Field against the Astros, and they just did not play competitive ball at all in that series. So now 3 games under 500. I just got to roll with the Pirates in this game. I think there'll be plenty of spots we'll be able to take Arizona in, and I still think this is a good offense overall. But at this price, I think the Pirates are the play on the money line. Next up, we've got the Rockies and the Orioles. We've got Kyle Freeland and Dean Kramer as the starters. I'm leaning towards the under in this game. I don't think the Rockies do too much offensively against Dean Kramer. And while Kyle Freeland's had a disappointing season with an ERA above 5, he has been a lot more competitive in recent starts. He's had quality starts in 3 of his last 5 games, and the Rockies have won 2 of those last 3 starts. And, the Orioles have not been great against lefties at all this season, and that's the case in the last 30 days as well. I think if Freeland can go 5-6 strong innings, the Rockies bullpen will be good enough to keep this game under the total. So I think the Orioles do win it, but no value in that money line price. I'm just going to go with the under in Rockies-Orioles. Next up, we've got the Phillies and the Yankees. We've got Taijuan Walker and Will Warren as the starters. Now, Walker was good enough for the Phillies to go on to win his last game 9-5 against the Angels, but it still was not a very good outing for Taijuan Walker. 4 innings, 9 base hits, 3 earned runs, 2 home runs to go with it. He did have 4 strikeouts, but I think he gets crushed in this one against this Yankees lineup. The question is, can the Phillies back up Walker? And, in a similar game to that last one with the Angels, 9-5, can the Phillies bats do the talking? And I just don't think they'll do enough. I think Will Warren will be good enough in this game. He's been solid at Yankee Stadium, a 3.0 ERA, 5-3 record with 63 strikeouts in 54 innings. So while his last game wasn't his best, that was on the road against the Braves, his last few Yankee Stadium starts have been excellent, and the Yankees have won 2 of his last 3 games at Yankee Stadium. So I'm going to go with the Yankees in this one. I think they bounced back from a disappointing series with Toronto. Give me the Yankees on the money line. Next up, we've got the Boston Red Sox taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. We've got Emmett Sheehan and Brian Bayo as the starters. This first game, at least at Fenway Park, could be the case for the rest of the series as well, but looks to be very good hitter-friendly weather, and I think that we're going to see a lot of runs in this first game. I like the over. Emmett Sheehan struggled his last game, 5 runs, a home run given up to Milwaukee. So while the Red Sox, they've been a little bit inconsistent offensively, they found their game offensively in that last game against the Phillies of that series, scoring 9 runs in the win. And I think they get to Sheehan early. I also think the Dodgers get to Bayo, who I put my faith into in his last start, and it did not work out. He lost to the Chicago Cubs. And the issues that I had with Bayo's game at the beginning of the season, the concerns I had regression-wise, they showed up in that start against Chicago. He gave up a lot of sharp contact. His control was off, and I think if he continues to pitch like that going forward, it's just not going to be good results for Bello and for the Boston Red Sox. So I think that the Dodgers, one of the best lineups in baseball against right-handed pitching, should be able to get to Bello. Give me the over. I think we see runs early and often. Give me the over. Next up, we've got the Cincinnati Reds taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. We've got Zach Littell and Nick Martinez as the starters. This one screams over to me as well. You got, Great American Ballpark, one of the most hitter-friendly parks in baseball. Looks to be pretty hitter-friendly weather as well. You've got Zach Littell, who's given up a ton of home runs this season, and a Rays bullpen that I don't think is as strong this year as it's been in recent seasons. And then you got Nick Martinez. We know my opinion on Nick Martinez as a starting pitcher. I think he struggles as well in this game. Give me the over. Next up, we've got the Blue Jays and the Tigers. We've got Jose Barrios and Kaider Montero as the starters. Another game where I do lean towards the over, but I do think the Blue Jays win it as well. I've mentioned my worries. Before the All-Star break, we talked about it a little bit, about Jose Barrios' game. The underlying numbers aren't the best, and we've seen him give up 8 runs now, his last 8 2/3, 3 home runs to go with it. The Blue Jays still ended up winning one of those games, his last start against the Giants, 8-6, and it goes to show you how strong this Blue Jays lineup has been. So that's why I still think they find a way to win it, but I worry about Barrios. I do think he gives up some runs early in this one. I just think that Montero also struggles, and I think these starting pitchers cancel out, and then it comes down to the Blue Jays lineup and bullpen advantages over Detroit. I think they're pretty significant, so I'm going to roll with the Blue Jays and the over. Next up, we've got the San Diego Padres taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. We've got Nick Pivetta and Miles Mikolas as the starters. Now, the Padres are dead last in Major League Baseball in team OPS against right-handed pitching in the last 30 days, but it's also with a very low strikeout rate and a high walk rate. I do think San Diego's been a little bit unlucky with its .235 BABIP against righties in the last month, and I still think that they can get to Mikolas. Even though he's been better at Busch Stadium, he does not have good numbers against his current Padres lineup. Pivetta's been pitching really well on the other side for San Diego. I trust the Padres bullpen more. I'm going to roll with San Diego in this game on the money line. Next up, we've got the Chicago White Sox taking on the Chicago Cubs. We've got Jose Barrios and Adrian Hauser as the starters. Now, Adrian Hauser wasn't his best game his last start against the Pirates, but he has been a winning machine for the White Sox. He's got, the White Sox have won his last 5 games, 6 of his last 7. And for a team that's only got 37 wins on the season, that says a lot. And the White Sox have been playing their best baseball of the year. They swept the Pirates. They took 2 of 3 against the Rays. They covered the run line in all 3 of those games in Tampa Bay. And up against a lefty in Imanaga, who's pitched well, but I do think has some regression concerns. And the White Sox have been better against lefties than righties this year. I think that the White Sox can compete in this game and at least cover the run line, if not win the game outright. Next up, the Braves and the Rangers. We've got Joey Wentz and Nathan Eovaldi as the starters. I think this is a lopsided pitching matchup in favor of the Rangers. I'm going to roll with the Rangers on the run line at Globe Life Field. Wentz was pretty solid in his last game against the Yankees. 4 innings of shutout baseball, but only 2 strikeouts. I think the Rangers can get to him, and even if they don't score a ton off of Wentz and this Braves bullpen, I don't think Eovaldi gives up much of anything. He has just been in excellent form for the Rangers, even after returning from his injury. He really didn't miss a beat in his first few games back from the injury. His last game against the Astros, who have been one of the best lineups in baseball and one of the hottest teams in baseball, 7 2/3, 1 run, 8 strikeouts, and a 5-1 Rangers win. They've won his last 3 games, and they covered the run line in all those games as well. I'm going to roll with the Rangers on the run line again in this one. Next up, it's the Guardians and the Royals. We've got Gavin Williams and Michael Wacha as the projected starters. I know Terry Francona is no longer the manager of the Guardians, but this is still a team, a franchise that has really made its mark in the second half of seasons after the All-Star break in the last decade plus. This is really where we see Cleveland make up ground and extend division leads like we've seen the last couple of years. I think that the Guardians are playing good baseball. They took the series against the Orioles. They took the series against the A's. I think they take this series as well, and I don't think they're out of it in the division in terms of, we look at how poorly the Tigers have been playing since the All-Star break, and it was even before that. I think the Guardians are, they're within striking distance. It's not an insurmountable lead that Detroit has in that division. And I've said many times, I think they regress in a big way, the Tigers, and we're starting to see that. But for me, when you look at this matchup, Michael Wacha's been better at Kauffman Stadium. The Royals have been so inconsistent, though, offensively. We saw them against the Cubs have some big days. They also got shut out in an ugly 6-0 loss with 3 errors defensively. So you don't really know what you're getting from the Royals right now, but I think Gavin Williams can go toe-to-toe with Michael Wacha. I trust this Guardians lineup right now more. I think consistently it's been there, and I also think the bullpen is a lot stronger. So I'm going to roll with the Cleveland Guardians on the money line on the road. Next up, we've got the Nationals and the Twins. We've got no official starter right now for Minnesota, but we should see Mackenzie Gore going for the Nationals. Now, Gore's pitched well this season, but certainly not the case in his most recent game. And that's a concern for me because now you're going on the road against a Twins team that in the last 30 days, #1 in Major League Baseball in team OPS and isolated power against left-handed pitching with a low strikeout rate to go with it. So as much as the Twins have struggled this season, their offense has been hot against lefties, and their bullpen is still very elite in my opinion. We'll see who their starting pitcher is, but for right now, I'm leaning towards the Twins on the money line. Next up, we've got the Angels and the Mariners. We've got Brian Wu and Jose Soriano as the starters. You know, when you look at Jose Soriano, I've mentioned many times, I think he's a good option long-term in this Angels rotation, but at home right now, he has had his struggles. He just hasn't been able to be consistent at Angel Stadium, and it's been the case recently. It's also was the case last year. He was better on the road than he was at home, and when you've got a guy like Brian Wu on the other side who's been so strong this season on the mound, I just have to see a clean outing from Soriano at home first before I can back him in a spot like this. His last game at home against the Diamondbacks was on July 13th. He gave up 5 runs. Now, 4 of those were unearned runs, so the defense definitely didn't help him out. He had a 14-4 ground ball to fly ball ratio, so he did his part in keeping the ball on the ground, but he still gave up 3 walks in those 5 innings. Ended up being a 5-1 Angels loss. Before that, he gave up 5 runs in 4 innings at home against the Rangers. The last home start before that one, he gave up 8 runs against the Nationals in a 15-9 loss. So with Wu on the other side and a competent Mariners lineup, I've got to roll with the Mariners in this game on the money line on the road. Next up, we've got the New York Mets and the San Francisco Giants. We've got Clay Holmes and Logan Webb as the starters. I thought it was quite the disappointing outing from Clay Holmes in his last start against the Cincinnati Reds. He had a nice lead early on, and then his defense definitely didn't do him any favors, but it just wasn't a great outing. His control was off against Cincinnati, and they were able to come back and win that game. And now you're going on the road against the Giants, and I know San Francisco has not been great offensively, and not just last month, the last few months, but Logan Webb at Oracle Park is really tough to go against. I think he bounces back. I don't think the Mets have enough run support here, so I'm going to roll with San Francisco on the money line at Oracle Park. And that's it. Those are the games for Friday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab of Pickdawgz.com, and there is a link in the description. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.